Guys, it lives. It's happening.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Stay calm!
And hopefully, we don't have much longer to wait. This morning, as of about 5 hours ago at the time of writing this video, BattleBit Remastered dropped this teaser trailer for Operation Overhaul. It's actually been about 1.5 years to the date since we got any kind of update for this game. But now it begs the question, is BattleBit Remastered back, or is it too little, too late? Look guys, I'm trying to keep myself as grounded as possible right now because I'll be honest, I kind of gave up all hope at one point when it came to this game. I wanted to believe that an update was coming, and deep down I still did, but I also know how this industry tends to work these days, and a lot of the goodwill and the groundwork that the game built with its community had been absolutely shattered by the developers with their approach to this update. Going radio silent for over a year with little to no communication was simply not the play. I think we can all agree to that. But having a bit of a deeper dig into the trailer and seeing all of the changes that are coming, and admittedly, watching the video more times than I'd care to admit, it's actually got the excited little boy in me coming out once again. It has me hopeful for the future of BattleBit, and look, to be frank with you guys, that's a good feeling to have. For those who are actually unaware of the scope of this update and what it actually entails, this is, as the title of the trailer video on YouTube suggests, an overhaul of the entire game from top to bottom. Sound, visuals, animations, every weapon and attachment, weapon cosmetics, progression, UI, multiple maps, core gameplay mechanics, even the game's entire time to kill model. BattleBit is going to become a whole new beast with the release of this update. If anything, it's going to feel a bit more like a sequel rather than a whole new update. You know, this is more like BattleBit 2 Electric Boogaloo than BattleBit 1.0. And now that we have an indication that it is seemingly almost there based on this teaser trailer, it feels almost surreal as a person who's been with the BattleBit Remastered journey for the longest time now. I mean, to really illustrate this, let's take a look at some before and after comparison shots between the current day patch of the game and the content that was shown off in this teaser trailer, because I tell you what folks, it really does demonstrate just how big of a change this is going to be to BattleBit. In this first image, which appears to come from the POV of a recon class with an SSG-69, we can see that squad members in the bottom right corner now have clearer icons for identifying their class, as well as a new death marker for indicating when they're actually, you know, dead. The loadout, as well as the corresponding keybinds on the right-hand side of the screen, is completely redesigned and looks sharp as hell. Even the primary weapon silhouette features the attachments on the weapon itself. The magazine status in the bottom right, i.e. how much ammo is left in a current magazine, is now color-coded for ease of identification as well. This second image from the perspective of a helicopter pilot gives us a really clear indication of what the new vehicle HUD is going to look like, and while the general HUD is far more clear, we've also got nifty features like a vehicle health bar, which actually tells you how much health the vehicle has remaining. And as we can see, this is not a feature in the current iteration of the game at all. I'm also hoping that in the future, should the devs decide to add conditional damage to vehicles such as tanks being tracked as an example, that we actually can use this HUD element to identify that as well. This extremely short clip in the trailer as well, which I've slowed right down for you guys, also shows us the new spotting mechanics and health bars above enemy heads in all of their glory. And again, I think these look pretty bloody clean, and once again adds a sense of readability to the game that was otherwise a bit absent with the current day patch. I mean, if I was to go frame by frame through this trailer and just pick out all of the little things that you can spot in the trailer, we could probably be here for hours on end. And all of this so far only really scratches the surface of what is expected, which can be really seen here. In the description, for those who are interested, I have left a link to the document that you guys can see on your screen now. This document represents the unofficial patch notes for Operation Overhaul, the culmination of all developer streams, Discord announcements, tidbits, teasers, and insights the developers have shared regarding this update for BattleBit over the past year and a half. It really is quite the read that when considered wholly, it's a big deal. The namesake of this update really does ring true. It is a complete and total overhaul to BattleBit that, when considered in aggregate, is really aiming to take the BattleBit gameplay that we all know and love and throw a fresh coat of paint on it that's going to really make it a competitor to the big FPS guys in town. BBR is no longer just going to walk the walk. It's also going to look like one badass bish when it does it as well. And that, to me, as someone who's been passionate about the story of BattleBit long before it went into early access, yeah, it's safe to say I'm extremely excited by what the prospect of this update could mean for the game. It could be the second chance that it needs to truly realize its potential. The only question that remains now is, was it too little too late, and have too many mistakes been made along the way? And right now, as I literally write this video out, there's two sides of my brain in a heated argument about this right now. The optimist in me says that, there are games that have come back from far worse starting positions to the point where this is going to be a cakewalk for BattleBit. I'm obviously thinking about the likes of No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk 2077. At least BattleBit came out and it was functional, fun, and enjoyable. It just lost momentum with the lack of updates, right? Surely it's far easier to come back from that position rather than releasing a buggy, broken, basically unplayable game on launch, right? But then the other side of me says that BattleBit is basically starting from scratch once again from a player count perspective, folks. BattleBit struggles to achieve 1,000 daily concurrent players. It doesn't have a presence in a lot of regions in the world anymore after a lot of its server support shut down. This basically represents a clean slate, a fresh restart, which for a multiplayer game that's been out for quite some time and, as I said before, has lost a lot of its goodwill with its community, that's a tall order, a Herculean task to bring a community back up to speed to such a scale. And the way I sort of ground myself with those two sides of my brain fighting each other at the moment is that, no, BattleBit is very unlikely to ever reach its 80,000 concurrent peak player count ever again. I think, BattleBit came out at a really good time in the industry. It was a time where Battlefield 2042 was well and truly on life support in some parts of the world, and it was a time where there was really nothing going on in the large-scale combined arms first-person shooter space. And while that is technically still true to this day, there is a looming Battlefield title on the horizon. We don't know when it's getting revealed, we don't know when it's coming out, but we do know that when it does hit the market, it's going to probably have a bit of a ripple effect on BattleBit Remastered as well, if it's any good. Or it performs terribly and BattleBit surges as a result of its downfall. But nonetheless, I think BattleBit's success now is a little bit less conditional on the excellent launch that it had, and a bit more conditional now on, the market environment around it. I can only hope that when Operation Overhaul does actually drop, and I hope that it's soon for the game's sake, it does well enough that it at least puts BattleBit back on the map to a certain extent, and we can get back to having some really, really good times with this game with a bit of a future in mind. But folks, I'll be honest, it feels good to be making content for BattleBit again and to actually have something to talk about. It's been a long time overdue. I've missed it, I know you guys have missed it, so be sure to backhand the like button on this video if you want to see more BattleBit content. Obviously, I'm still a bit hamstrung as to what I can and can't do, given that we actually don't have the update yet, but when it does come out, I'll be covering it to high hell, so make sure you guys are liking the video, showing your support, and subscribing if you're brand new to the channel. There's going to be a lot of BBR content coming when the update drops. And leave a comment down below, guys. Are you excited for BattleBit Remastered's next update, or are you a little too far gone on the copium and are just checked out from what BattleBit is doing in the near future? Let me know. But until next time, guys, peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.